Good morning, friends. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Scribbles, the artist and crocheter behind Eclectic Scribbles, and we're going to start a brand new video of creations for the week. First, I have to put some tags on these guys, so that is what I'm going to do. I'll just show you what I have to put tags on. So I did this last night. This is a crochet beanie, which works up pretty quickly, not too bad. This is a knit beanie that I made, combining a couple of techniques. So this is sort of a different style knit beanie, which I think came out really, really nice. I've got my bucket hat that matches my sweater. And then the initial knit beanie that I made is here. And then we've got our two other crochet beanies, our child size and our adult size beanies. So you can see the difference in size in there. And all of these need tags. So I'm going to put tags on them this morning. And I really need to put tags on my bags that are over here. So I may work on some of that this week, but that's where we're going to start. It's also time to pick our new theme for the next month of Patreon, which is going to be December. I've released all of my November Patreon stuff out to my patrons on the first of the month. So that is taken care of already. And now it's looking like we're going to do winter solstice as the theme for the month of December. We've got a poll going right now. And we're going to do a plushie pattern as well for the month of December. So that'll be fun because I haven't designed a plushie in a minute and I have been missing it a little bit. So we're going to do a plushie design for the month. And we're going to get started on making some art for it, which I think will be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really love how my fairy piece came out. If you guys haven't seen my fairy piece, I will plop it right here. So there that is. And I had such a fun time sort of collaborating with all of my patrons and all of the members on my Patreon, free and paid, about their opinions on certain things and what additions we should make and all that good stuff. So we're going to do that again for winter solstice, and it's going to be fun. I think I'm going to wait until I do a new color of tag for this one because I don't really think that the brown goes with this. But I do think the brown goes with this one. So we're going to put the brown on this. And I do need to kick the laser on and make some new tags in some different colors. So I'll probably be doing that today. I think what I want to do is create some little characters for, well, not create little characters. I think I'm going to make some little drawings that I can turn into some traditional art pieces, like small artist trading card or 4x6 pieces. I have been wanting to play with traditional art for a hot minute, and yeah, I think now is going to be the time to do it. I've got one more convention for the end of this year, which is this coming weekend, which is North Carolina Comic Con. It's a local con for me, and I'm pretty much ready to go outside of tagging things. I don't really have a whole lot of prep to do for that. Once that is said and done, the rest of the year is just going to be me creating new stuff, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that prospect and everything that we can get created for the new year. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start some new tags in my laser so that we can get some more tags put on these items. And then I need to figure out what colors I need for the things that are over there.
back per market and let the markets build up to pay for it. If you do enough markets per year, I think the time savings in keeping track of your inventory and your sales per day is huge, and this works for that. And if you're wondering how that goes when it comes to a cash or a different style of,
We're a little bit later now, but I got all of my tags made. I have some tags that go like this, where it's facing down because of the brim of the beanie. And then I made a second set with them facing up towards this little screw for things that don't have the fold up brim, that just have a regular brim. So I went ahead and I made sure that I have tags to go with both. And then I printed some new tags. I got those labeled and put onto my bandanas. I need to print some barcodes real quick. And that is what I'm going to do next, to throw on the back of those things. And set them up in my point of sale system so that that is ready to go. And that means I need to update my sheet over here. Well, you know what? I'm going to put a barcode on each one of those, so I'm not going to update my sheet. I'm going to leave my sheet the way it is, and I'm just going to tag these individually and put the barcodes on them individually. So I do need to print out the barcodes for those. So that is what I'm going to do now. And then we're going to get to work on some of our sketching and drawing for the winter solstice theme, and we can get into that. I feel like we've really focused on crochet and knitting for the past several weeks, and we haven't done any art together except for me showing you my sketches in the I'm not selling you my stuff anymore video. And so yeah, it'll be fun to share some of the experience of drawing these things with you guys again. So let's get into making these barcodes real quick, and then we'll start sketching.
If something were to come of it. Good night, Lady Grantham. Lady Rosamond.
We're so easy in each other's company. Anyone can see it.
But he won't let me go.
Because you refuse to make it clear that you want him to. Just as he's moving off, you tug his strings. Send a clear message, and he'll go. I promise.
What is that message?
We'll think of something.
Atticus says the London office of the magazine must know how to get in touch with Edith.
That takes up time.
I think I'll stop it now, so I'll be able to visit more.
Do you think she's right to give up her studies, Mr. Mason?
I do not.
Do you want to see more of me?
You know I do. But education is power. Don't forget that. There's no limit to what you can achieve if you'll just give a year or two to mastering those books.
We're going to call it here for the night. It is about 9:40, and I got this much done. I'm getting faster at this, which is good because this takes a lot longer than crochet. But isn't that pretty? I put the retro stripes from Super Saver in with plain black, and I think it's going to go really nicely with this pom. So I am going to put a pom-pom on this one, but it's looking good. I like it. So we're going to put this away for the night, and I made 4 more of these, so you probably have already seen this video. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm in the process of testing out the burnout blanket granny squares. And so I have decided, because it hurts my hand quite a lot actually to do those, that I'm doing one skein of it a night, and I've got one skein left. And then So tomorrow night we should be able to finish off all the squares for it, and then the following night I will most likely put it all together. That's what I got done tonight, was those 4. I didn't come in until late because I was sketching out the ideas for the winter solstice collection, and yeah, that's all I got done. That's all I got done. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, you guys. So we are now past the boring editing part, and I can kind of show you what I've been working on. So for my winter solstice piece, I have this idea of a little character like floating around in here, decorating this fireplace for the winter solstice. So I've got like a fireplace set up here. I've got like a window over here that we'll be able to look outside of. I haven't decided if I want to put like a tree up over here, or if I want to do like a cauldron or something over here, and maybe a broom, maybe some little shelves up on the wall. I've got a couple of shelf spaces there and a couple there. I've got some spaces for some presents or something down below, a nice little rug. So I basically yesterday afternoon was playing with the 2-point perspective tool so that I could get a good angle on what I was doing here, and I think I like this angle. I really do. I think I like this angle. I think this is going to be a good angle for us, and so this is sort of the mock-up I'm going to start building around. So I'm going to turn the perspective grid off now and work on this as a base, and then start to build the actual details of the piece in that. So that's where we're at right now. That's what I'm going to do. I will show you guys like the time lapse of how far we get. It's just a little bit more detailed if you can see that, rather than the other one. You can see how I was playing with the angles a couple of times. I had this sort of view, but I think that this is a little too angled, and so I didn't really care for it. And then while I was trying to get the idea down on paper, this is sort of the idea I have going into building the actual fireplace. So this is sort of the initial idea before I turn the perspective grid on and try to do the angling or whatever. So you can see that we've got like a little hearth here. There'll be like a little Yule log with some candles on here. We'll have a nice little fire in our fireplace and some decorations right here. And then I don't know if I'm going to add the tree yet. We'll see. But this was the initial concept of this particular piece. So we're going to be working off of that idea, but with this room design. where we have gotten on this piece so far. I'm currently talking in my group chat on my Patreon as to things that we can add in. I think we're going to have the little mini mallows tangled up in some lights down here. I'll probably move Toasty over a little bit. We're going to hang some holly or some mistletoe or something down from the ceiling and put some beams in. So these are some suggestions that they're making there. All right, so let's have a little chit chat about where we're ending on this sketch for today. I am going to add a couple more things in here. I'm talking with my patrons over in my group chat on Patreon right now about some stuff. So we're going to be adding in some more character to this piece. Like we're going to have some beams and maybe some mistletoe hanging from the ceiling. We're going to have the mini mallows over here, maybe tangled up in some lights. And so we're just gonna, I think we're gonna tilt the stool here a little bit just to give it a little bit more pizzazz, a little more zhuzh, and make this scene a little bit more precarious for her, like she's really like leaning onto the stool. But this is where we're at so far, and I wanted to go ahead and take you through the time lapse of how we've gotten to this point so that you guys could see it. This is where we're using the perspective grid to get the layout of the actual room in place. This is literally the first time I've ever used a perspective grid on Procreate, and it was pretty easy to work with. I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea what I was doing digitally to form the perspective grid, so it did take me a couple of tries to get the angles that I wanted, but I think we got there in the end. I think this is a nice angle to work from. This is my first attempt of putting the little character in there, but you're going to see how we're going to change the angle of it a little bit here in just a minute. Instead of working on the character first, I thought I would take her out and just make sure that the background in the room was all set up. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm starting to put in the decoration. We're going to make it a stone fireplace with brick on the inside. Put some trim on the walls, made sure that all of the different elements are sort of 3D in the way that they're supposed to. I moved the presents back here underneath this table. I figured we'd do like a little cauldron and some books and some little potion bottles and stuff over there because this is a winter solstice, more pagan-y type scene than it is anything else. We've got our little stool here. This is where I'm going to start putting our little character in. You can see that I'll have to adjust the character's height as I go. I still haven't decided on an outfit, but we got her in a little dress right now. Toasty's little butt cheeks appearing out here. And then we've got our little mushroom character who needs a name playing in some of little acorns. And then there's just a couple more little details put in here in the background so far. But this is where we're at for right now. I really like it. I think it's coming together really, really nicely, and I'm excited to continue to work on it. But I am going to go inside now, and we're going to pick up some of our fiber projects and start working on those for the afternoon. All right, this project is officially done now. I love it. Well, it's not done, is it? Because I still have to make the butterfly to go on the front of the butterfly bag. But the bag is done. The bag is absolutely done. I think that I will go ahead. I think I will go ahead and make the butterfly. That way I can say it is 100% complete. It's about 6:40 now, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to work. My wrist is bothering me a little bit. I think it's from all the motion of the granny squares and the bigger yarn. This is a nice size bag. This is the large version of this bag. I've laid out in the pattern a bunch of different measurements for different size bags, and this is sort of the large. And this is with putting like a shoulder strap on it instead of just a handle. So then we have that. I love it. Of course, my favorite colorway. So you can't go wrong there. I am going to pull up my pattern really, really quickly for the actual butterfly. It's not difficult. You can find a butterfly pattern pretty much anywhere on the internet. I just threw one together and put it on the front of this bag. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to tie that to this. There's our little butterfly for the front of our bag. And now it is officially complete. Very cute. I love the little addition of the butterfly. I think it just gives it a little something extra. I'm going to take a break. It is 7:12. I am going to rest my hands a little bit. That's the stack of all my granny squares. And then I will probably work on this. Then I think we will call it a night for sure, because I have been at this for the majority of the afternoon and my hands are getting a little tired. So quick little break, check my emails and stuff like that, and then we'll see if I get up to any more this evening. Isn't that right, Bubba? Oh, here comes Jealous. I said Bubba, so here's Jealous. There he is. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Thank you. Hi, buddy. Hello, buddy. Hello. 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 All right. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday now, and I am going to do a couple of admin type things this morning. First, I need to begin editing a couple videos for you guys, and then I am going to go back to working on a winter solstice piece that I am working on for the print for the December Patreon. So I am going to sit here and I hate editing. I really do. I don't like it very much at all. Well, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I'm going to go and get that out of the way so that I can get to the fun part for me, which is the drawing. There's not a whole lot to show you with the me editing thing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go do that alone, all by myself. And then we'll meet back up here when I get to do something more fun. Okay, friends, so let's talk about where we stand with our little design for our winter solstice piece right here. This is where we ended up yesterday, and I've been throwing a couple of things back and forth to my patrons, and so we're discussing the different elements, and I told you about some of the changes that I wanted to make to this. And so this was yesterday's designs. I had her in a little dress, and I said I wanted to make the little mini mallows like tangled up into some lights over here, and we're going to turn Toasty around. But let me show you where we've gotten today between myself and just a little bit of input from my patrons. I took some of their suggestions from yesterday, and we put it into the new piece. So let's go this way. Look at where we're at. I've been working on this most of the morning. I'm so stinking excited about it. First of all, we put the different suggestions in. So the tilted stool, so it looks a little bit more like she's really leaning into it. We've got the mini mallows down here, tangled up in the lights. I have cleaned up the sketch itself a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to tell what's going on where. We put a few more decorations hanging from the ceiling. I've put a little bit more detail in the decoration that I already had. And then we changed out her dress. I made her head bigger because I think her head needs to be bigger for my cartoony style or whatever. I made her head bigger. And we put her in these little flapjack pajamas is what I'm guessing that they're called. I just learned that. I was like, what's the little onesie things with the little butt flap in them? And one of my patrons said, I think you mean flapjack pajamas, and I do. So we're going to do like a plaid flapjack pajama and put her in some little socks. I think that that's cuter than the dress since she's in her home and she's decorating her little house and everything. But this is where the sketch stands now, and so I am going to probably go into doing some color blocking for this next and figuring out where I want to take the color scheme for this. But I'm thinking maybe some blues in it and some whites, but maybe a lot of greens and reds and golds for this piece, because I think that that feels more wintry, more holiday, more solstice-y. So that's where we're going to head with the color scheme. But I will say I do want the house pieces, like the walls and the ceilings and the floor, to not be in those colors, because I don't feel like she'd have those colors year round in her house. So more of the decorations in those colors and her little outfit in those colors and things like that. But of course, we need to figure out what color the actual house is going to be, and I'm thinking a very neutral tone so that it doesn't distract from all the decorations, but I've got to figure out what those are going to be. So that's what I'm going to work on next, is some color blocking, and I'm really, really excited about it. But I'm absolutely loving how this is coming along. I'm waiting to hear back to see what my patrons think, if they want me to add anything else in here. I just love the little collaborative effort that goes into making these pieces for my patrons, because they said, what if this one, what if Toasty is like palm to face, like face palm? I can't believe these little mallows are tangled up in these lights. And I'm like, that's such a cute idea. So we turned Toasty around and we tangled up the little mini mallows, who I always think of as mischievous and always getting into trouble. So of course they're tangled up into the lights. Why wouldn't they be tangled up in the lights, right? And just add in little elements, like we added some decoration to the windows, and we hung a couple other things from the ceiling just to give it a little bit more interest. This is like the most detailed piece that I will have done in quite some time, if ever. I don't think I've ever done anything this detailed as far as background is concerned. So I'm very excited and a little nervous all at the same time, just a little anxious on being able to pull it off. But I absolutely can. I can. You can. I can. We all can. We can pull it off. So I'm really excited to get into the next phase of this piece and see where it goes from here. But anyways, I wanted to show you the progress. If you want the full collaborative effort, you don't have to be a paid member of Patreon. I post the works in progress in real time on my group chats in my Patreon, which is available to my free and my paid members. So you can absolutely be a free member over there and get in on the effort and put your little 2 cents in real time while I'm making this, because these videos come out afterward. Let me move you. These videos come out after the fact, and the decisions have already been made. If you want to get in on the decision making, absolutely go ahead, jump over to Patreon. I'll put the thingy here for the QR code, and you can jump over there as a free member, and the group chats are available to you. So anyways, that is that being said, I'm so looking forward to jumping in here and starting to color block. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to work on this. It's 1:45-ish. I'm going to work on this for the next couple of hours before I go inside for the evening and start the fiber stuff. I'm very, very, very excited. I have to say fiber stuff now, and the knitting and crochet, because I've got both things on the go, which is not something that I'm used to saying. So anyways, before I go working with some yarn, I'm going to work on this and start color blocking some ideas in. I'm so excited. Okay guys, so here's where I think we're going to call it quits on progress for this piece today. So I blocked in a bunch of the colors, but I wasn't 100% convinced with the cool tones in the walls and on the ceiling for this. And then all of the brown, I think things are getting lost in here. This I just forgot to color, so just ignore the fact that that has no color to it. I just forgot to color it. So I threw this one up, and I was talking to my patrons about it, and then I changed it to a more warm tone. There went my voice. A more warm tones in the walls and in the ceiling, and then I did the packages in different color papers. Obviously, this is not what the final product is going to look like. There's going to be lighting. There's going to be shadows. Just because something is red here doesn't mean it's the same tone of red here. And this sort of surface isn't the same as a cloth surface, so all of the tones will change. I am just trying to space out the colors around the piece a little bit more, if that makes sense. So I'm making sure that there's not too big a clump of green together, or not too big a clump of red together, and so that things aren't getting lost. So obviously, this is not what the final piece is going to look like. It's going to have light, it's going to have shadows. You're going to see the ambiance coming through from the fire, and so everything's going to be sprinkled with a little bit of yellow light from that. I don't know why my voice is leaving me. But it's going away. Anyways, so if you had to pick between the cooler tones and the warmer tones, drop it in the comments which one you prefer. I'll probably have already made the decision, but I'm always curious to know which people prefer. So we've got cool tones here. I'm going to give you one more look at it. And then we've got the warm tones here. And again, these aren't going to be the final colors. I'm just spacing out the colors. This is sort of just a composition to say, hey, I'm putting red over here, or I'm putting green over here. And we need to isolate the fireplace because it's going to be stone, so it needs to be gray. And I'm just sort of spacing the colors out. So it's really interesting to see from how we get from this point right here, which is just a mess of colors strewn about the piece, to the final finished product. And I'm really excited to share that part with you guys. This is where we're at. Cool tones one more time. Warm tones. Which do you prefer? I am not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you where I'm leaning right now. So you'll have to catch that in the next little update clip that we do on this piece. We are on Wednesday now. We've got an order to pack for one of our little ghosty bookmarks. We got ghosty bookmark, and we've got a couple of freebie stickers. We got our thank you card here, which I need to put a name on. This one is going overseas, I believe. Well, not I believe. I know it because they got VAT collected on it, which means it's going somewhere in the UK. It's going to Germany. It's going to Germany. So there we have that. Let me grab a protective sheet for them to go in. I know the little ghosty bookmark is already in a sheet, but I want the stickers and the thank you card to be protected as well, just in case of weather. So we put them in these nice little glassine baggies. And now I gotta go over and print out the stuff to go with it and the address labels. Oh my goodness. I ordered, all my information's covered. I ordered my labels, right? I was expecting my labels yesterday so that I could print my barcodes. I opened up my labels this morning once I got back out here to the studio, and I don't have my labels. I have a duck, a duck sleep lamp, a duck. Like, that's not going to help me with my barcodes. Somebody put a Rolo sticker on them, like they're Rolo labels. They're not. This is a duck. This is a duck. And so now I had to reorder my labels, which will now be here tomorrow. And now I have to go all the way to the UPS store, which is across town, to return my duck that I didn't want. Anyways, it's such a hassle. But the next time I go over to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I can drop it off. Hey friends. Okay, so I think I showed you this, but we're going to show you again really quickly because I brought it out here so that I can get it ready to go. But here is our granny butterfly bag. I know I showed you this. So this is the granny butterfly bag I finished the other night. It needs a tag so that I can get it ready to go with me to convention this weekend. But I wanted to show you what I finished last night. I worked mostly on my blankets, so I didn't get to do a whole lot outside of that, but look at how good this came out. So this was the retro stripes and black hat, and I put my rainbow palm that I got from the Hobby Lobby on the top of it. So see, I put a palm on the top of some of them, one of them, you know, what else? I think this came out really nice. I like the way that this looks. And so I need to put a tag on it, which means I need to make some tags that are going to go with that. I don't want to do the brown on it. I think I've got some black in that PU leather. So I'm probably going to make a black tag for it and see how that comes out. And right now, I'm waiting on my new shipment that is not a duck, hopefully. That is not a duck. To get in so that I can print my barcodes out. So we'll see if that comes at a decent hour today because I need to go and set up for convention tomorrow. So I hope that it gets here at a decent time. And we're just going to go back and I'm going to start working on my project again and my new piece. So that is going to be what is the majority of the agenda for today. So I'm going to get started on that. Okay, here we are. This has taken the bulk of the day today so far, but we have got the line art done. So this will be one of the coloring pages that go out to my patrons for the month. And there are a couple of details here and there that just aren't added in. Like I don't have any of the swirls or the wood marks in the wood here, like in the logs, but I do have them here. I'll probably take them off of here for mine, and I'll probably add them in here for the coloring sheet. But for my purposes and what I need, I just need like a basic outline of where everything is so that I can actually begin to render and put it all together. Now, luckily, we've already done a color comp. So for the most part, I can use my layers that I have down here with all of the color on them and build up from there. So I don't have to start from scratch, but we'll definitely be changing things up a little bit. So I think I did decide that I want to go with the warmer colors, and so we're going to stick with that. I think that I want to pull a little bit more white and very light gray into the fireplace to match the warmer color tones in, or the warmer tones in the walls. Like right now, let me show you what we've got wall wise. Okay, it's not part of the wall, but that's okay. You see how this gray, it's a very desaturated color. It has a little too much green in it, I think, for me. Yeah, green. So it's got a little bit of green in it, and we want to really desaturate that pretty much all the way. And I'm thinking we may pull it up here a little bit further and give it more of a really light gray stone instead of the cool stone that it is right now, because it's really cool toned and it is a little contrasty with the rest of the actual piece. But this is where we stand. I'm going to start building up on these layers and really filling in all these little gaps that are around here and starting to build up the actual piece itself, and then we'll go on from there. But I'm really happy with where it's at right now. This is the best part, when we get to start to color it and bring it to life. So this is one of my favorite steps. You do have to get past the ugly phase, which we've sort of already jumped into with the color comp, but we do have to get past the ugly stage a bit, and we will be working towards that. But the absolute best part is adding all the highlights and shadows and lighting effects and everything like that, so that it just brings the whole piece together as a whole. And I absolutely stinking love that part. That is the best part for me. So anywho, this is where we're at, and we're going to get started with some coloring. Okay, friends, so here is where we're going to end off on this, probably for this vlog, because I am going to be doing a convention this weekend. It's my last convention of the year, but this is where we're going to end off for this vlog on this piece. And I think we've gotten so much work done on it. I'm so happy with it. And then we'll pick it up when we get back, because I'm not going to be able to work on it this weekend anyways. And plus I'm going to be filming for the convention, so I'm not going to be working on anything. This is the flat color stage. This is the end of the ugly stage for me, really. And it's not that it's ugly, and I've told my patrons this, it's not that I think that it's ugly like this, it's just that it's flat like this. And I am excited when I get to start adding in all the gradients and patterns and details and all of that good stuff. So that is what's going to happen next. It's also the stage where I get to change the line art around and change the colors of it to give it a more illustrative style. I don't like the hard black outlines. I used to, but I don't anymore. So that's not what we're going for. Those things will change. I've got the majority of my line art still separated into layers so that it's a little bit easier for me to change it. But yeah, this is where we are right now. I'm so stinking excited about this piece. I'm a little bit bummed that I have to stop working on it for the weekend and that I won't be able to get back to it until next week. But at the same time, I'll come back refreshed and I'll give it another little look at it, which I do also like to do, and make sure that I don't want to tweak anything before we go. I'm still not sure about the color of the packages, so we're going to leave those brown for now, and then we may turn them into something more decorative later. But yep, this is where we're going to leave off, and then we're going to go inside and we're going to crochet for a bit before I finish this vlog out. It is just after 6 o'clock and we are ready to start some crochet for tonight. But I will say that I said I wasn't going to start any new projects this week, and that is untrue because I need to make some opossums. I am out of the opossums in my little mini pets, and I need to restock. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to restock some little mini opossums. Maybe 3, maybe 4. I don't know. We'll see how far we get. I'm going to make the ears for 4, and we'll see if we can't bust 4 out. These take me a little under 20 minutes a piece to make. So come 7:30 or something, we should definitely have 4, which is not that bad. And it is a smaller weight yarn than I've been working with the blanket yarn. So it should be a lot easier on my hands. So let's get started with that.
Out of him, and I must get used to it.
That sounds serious.
I suppose you don't approve.
It's not for me to say, my lady.
But do you approve?
Mr. Talbot seems a nice gentleman. I'm just not sure his life and your life fit together. I don't mean to offend you, my lady.
I'm not offended. I'm troubled because I understand what you mean.
They do say that opposites attract.
Yes, they attract. But do they live happily ever after?
I think I'll go up in a minute.
All right, 7:20, and we have our 4 opossums done. I just need to check my 2 baskets here and see what else I need. Looks like I've got like 4 little axolotls. That's good. I've got whales. I've got a few stingrays. I've got several turtles. Perfect. I've got a bunch of my little rats. I need to glue the eyeballs onto my little opossums tomorrow, so I'm not going to put them in my box yet, but turtles, stingrays, whales, opossums, axolotls, and mice. Yeah, okay, perfect. Then that is plenty. And now we've got frogs, fish, octos, jellyfish, chickens, and spiders. Let's see. I know I have several spiders. Spiders didn't go quite as well as I was hoping they might. Several fish, okay. At least 4 chickens. I've got some octos. Looks like the only thing that I do not have in this basket is jellyfish, and I don't have any jellyfish. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and make some jellies as well. So we'll make 4 jellyfish also. And then I've got some stress balls and some chickens in the bottom of my thing, but that's fine. I don't even know if I'm going to put those out, but I have them. Got that back in the bag. We've got our 4 little opossums here. Here they are. Let me go ahead and put this yarn up. So one of my biggest things with my stuff getting out of hand is the fact that I never put stuff up immediately. Once I'm done with it, I always just sort of set it up here on my table out of my way, which is not good for me. Not good at all. So I'm just going to take the moment. We're going to take the, oh shit, I threw something. I don't know what I threw, but I threw something. That wasn't, oh. I have thrown multiple things. Oh, it was a hook. I threw a hook and some scissors. But I don't need the white either, nor do I need the gray. So we're going to put them up to a fun purple one. We'll start there. I'll definitely do a blue one. Maybe a bright pink or a nice pink anyways. And a green. Sounds like a plan. Those are some fun colors for our jellyfish. So I am going to come through and make these. And then, let's see, hopefully by about 8-ish, a little after 8-ish, we should have some jellyfish ready to go. little or jellies here. Ooh, jellyfish, good to go. So I can't hold on to anything tonight. Like, it's all been in the floor. I can tell you that I haven't missed being covered in fluff. Working with worsted weight yards, I have definitely not missed being covered in fluff. But that is going to take care of all of the minis that I needed to have for my show. I think we'll be good there. We're going to go ahead and end the video here. I am probably going to crochet a little bit more tonight, but I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. I may just put a new beanie on my hooks or something. I got no clue. So anyways, I love your faces so much. Drop some little jellies. Is there a jellyfish? There's got to be a jelly. Drop a jellyfish emoji down in the comments and let me know what you think of this week's makes and how we did with coming along with our new piece. I'm so excited about the new piece. So I'm really looking forward to getting back in on Monday after the show is over and getting to work on all the details on our little character and all of the background scenes and everything. It's going to be the most difficult or the most detailed piece that I've done in quite some time because I don't put a whole lot of backgrounds behind my characters, and I am really trying to do better at it, and I feel like I'm getting better at it. So I'm less stressed about it than I thought I'd be, but I'm looking forward to putting all of the little details in each of the things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It is right down here, and ding your notification bell so you are informed each and every time I upload new content. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for me because it helps me so much when you do that, and it takes 1 second and it is absolutely free. I will see you guys in the next video. I love your faces so much. I'm going to convention this weekend, so we got one more convention vlog before this year is done. And I don't have any more until January, so stay tuned for that as well. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay, goodbye.